to have an agreement for a joint commission before October 4th. That's the decision made by the President. So we work harder so that we find means and ways to have this agreement signed, to have the joint commission, and have been invited to have the signing. Why not here in Banjul? There are different sectors in which we have to work, like agriculture, like tourism, like fishing, and so on. Exchange of the student, university, and so on. We have large means and ways of cooperation between the two countries. And finally, the President gave his analysis concerning the question of Guinea-Conakry and how to improve the situation there. So I will convey all this to President Ouattara, who was today in Abuja for a meeting, and when I'll be back, I'll be to that they can decide on this question. Thank you.
The senior Foreign Affairs Minister of Ivory Coast there, Daniel Duncan Keblan, talking to journalists after a courtesy call on His Excellency the President of the Republic. Well, time now to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at news from outside the Gambia. Stay tuned in.
Brings you the most affordable 3G internet bundles ever.
Get your AfriCell Extreme 3G internet service for as low as $15 is only.
AfriCell 3G bundles starting from 50 megabytes up to 12 gigabytes.
12 gigabytes bundle for a tariff as low as $5 per megabyte.
And all bundles are valid for 30 days.
AfriCell Extreme 3G service for as low as $15.
To subscribe, please dial 120 and choose from the available 3G bundles.
For more info, call 113.
AfriCell Extreme 3G service.
For as low as 5 bottles per megabyte, stay connected to AfriCell's 3G network.
AfriCell.
When we say Extreme 3G,
it is truly extreme.
Welcome back. Now tension has risen in the Muslim world following riots in Egypt and Libya. The wave of anti-American protest, which has spilled over to other countries including Yemen and Tunisia, is triggered by the release of a film considered insulting to Islam. As we hear in the CFI report, the protests are raising fears for the safety of Americans in various parts of the world.
Rioting in Libya and Egypt, anti-American protest that is said to be linked to the film insulting Islam is spreading. Though the U.S. government has disavowed any participation in the film made by extremist Egyptian Copt Christians and right-wing American Christian groups in California, the violence has spread to Yemen. On Thursday, angry young men succeeded in penetrating the U.S. embassy in Sana'a before police pushed them out. There were running clashes the entire day. At least 4 people were killed. On Friday, the day of prayer, security measures were stepped up throughout the Arab Muslim world. Protests and clashes near the U.S. Embassy in Cairo, Egypt, pitted security forces against demonstrators from different sectors of society. Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi condemned the insults to Islam and the violence against the U.S. Embassy, but did not directly address the Egyptian people. The Muslim Brotherhood Party has reportedly stopped calling for protests. There were also angry protests in Iraq, Kuwait, and here in Lebanon, where some 200 people burned down a fast food stand and 1 person died in the northern city of Tripoli. You Americans are a superpower. You Americans have the largest army in the world. You Americans, you control the world. But you are not bigger than God. And sooner or later, God will have his revenge. In the Palestinian territory of Gaza, controlled by the Islamic Hamas Party, thousands of people demonstrated to calls of death to America, death to Israel. Fears of rioting and violence were also taken seriously in Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, and in Indonesia, with the largest Muslim population in the world. Access to the film on the internet has been blocked. Indonesian demonstrators said that the film was a declaration of war.
Opposition parties in Gabon are clamoring for a national conference for the public to express themselves. President Ali Bongo's refusal to host the conference has divided opinion in the country. We have details in this report, which also looks at the economic situation and the high rate of unemployment in that country.
National conference be organized in Gabon or not? 20 years after the conference of 1990 that led to a multi-party system, the opposition wants a new conference. But is it a disguised constitutional coup d'etat, or is there a real need for across-the-board dialogue? After President Ali Bongo refused, the Gabonese people are divided.
A national conference has nothing to do with a constitutional or electoral coup d'etat. It would allow the Gabonese to express themselves, to say certain things.
Things are not good in Gabon. We should be clear about this.
We have had enough forums, we have had enough conferences. Now it is time to go back to work.
There has been a lot of politics, but not enough development.
The question is whether Gabon is going through a political crisis. It is the question of employment that has the Gabonese most worried as they face problems in daily life and they face the high cost of living.
Human Rights Watch has said that the M23 rebels in DR Congo are guilty of human rights abuse. The human rights organization has found out that between July and August, horrible crimes were committed by the rebels in the North Kivu region. Hundreds of women and girls were raped in addition to the execution of government soldiers. We have details in this CFI report.
Operating in the east of DR Congo are guilty of widespread war crimes. These are the conclusions of a Human Rights Watch report. M23 rebels are mutineering soldiers from the Congolese army.
Human Rights Watch found that between July and August, horrible crimes were committed by the rebels in North Kivu. Hundreds of women and small children were raped. Young men were abducted to fight with them, and some were executed when they tried to escape. M23 is terrorizing the region it controls.
The United Nations confirms the accusations. M23 rebels are backed by Rwandan army officers. Kigali is accused of sending weapons and men from Rwanda to neighboring DR Congo. Rwanda denies the accusations. Human Rights Watch activists should stick to writing books or film scripts. The reports they make simply confuse people who don't know the truth. These reports give us no concern, they have no worth. The NGO maintains its conclusions.
We interviewed 190 victims, eyewitnesses and people close to the victims. The Rwandan army forced hundreds of people from Rwanda to join the rebel ranks in the Democratic Republic of Congo. We are calling for an investigation and legal action against the Rwandan authorities that took part in these operations, if this is possible.
M23 rebels deny the accusations, but the United Nations confirms that they have committed war crimes with support from the Rwandan army. Fighting in the east of DR Congo has forced 300,000 people to flee North Kivu since last May.
Well, time now to take another break. When we come back, we'll take a look at sports. Stay tuned in.
Of great young minds and a competition where everyone is a winner. It is a display of academic potentials, talent and beauty. Founded and supported by His Excellency the President, Chef Professor Dr. Alhaji Yahya AJJ Jammeh, the finals of the 2012 Miss 22nd July Scholarship Pageant will take place on Saturday, September 15, 2012 at the Paradise Suites Hotel starting at 8 p.m. The chief guests of honors are His Excellency the President, Chef Professor Dr. Alhaji Yahya AJJ Jammeh, and Her Excellency the First Lady, Madam Zainab Yahya AJJ Jammeh. Guest artist is Sekuba Bambino, Mam Tamsir Njai and Jali Keba. Proudly sponsored by the Gambia Ports Authority, the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Gambia Petroleum, Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, the Gambia Tourism Board, GRTS, Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation, and AfriCell. Support the Miss 22nd July Scholarship Pageant as the scheme will benefit all and sundry.
We'll bring you the sports news at 10. And before we go, reminder of our headlines. Ministries and project implementation units that are executing Islamic Development Bank supported interventions Friday wrapped up a capacity enhancement center